right there, Porsche gents. Today's project is going to be restoring the Alcantara on the steering wheel of my 911 or my GT3 RS. Any 911, same process. Comes off the same, goes on the same. We're going to do the same process for cleaning, leather treatment, and all of that. And so I'm going to take you through that process. But first, before we get the wheel, I got the wheel sitting here, but let me back up here and go back in the car, take you in the car, and we'll take the wheel off and show you how to do that. All right, so let's pull this steering wheel off so that we can fix the Alcantara. And then we can So I'm using a 7/32. It'd be better if this was flat, but you go up, there's a little hole in the bottom of the steering wheel. You go upward, pop the airbag out. Now I've already turned or disconnected the battery, so the battery's disconnected, which is something you want to make sure you do. And I take this little baby screwdriver, pop these little tabs off, and we remove the airbag. Once we pop that, pull these out. So airbag is out. This is leather, so I'm going to treat this as well. Then that should be it. Somebody has taken this off before. I believe this other wire needs to come out of the inside here. Now, this is a square drive. Looks like an M10 or something like that. This is probably M14. Nope. M12. Yeah. So you need an M12 square drive. And this is a Milwaukee Compact Torque. Pull that off. And the steering wheel comes off. Piece of cake. Okay, now we're back, and I'm going to use several different products on this. I'm going to use Sonax Alcantara cleaner. I'm going to use, man, I got a beat up old bottle of Colourlock Strong Cleaner. We're going to do leather protector on the airbag and leather shield that will top the leather protector, and that will protect the leather section. There is no leather on the wheel. This is plastic, or like a rubberized plastic, so nothing to do there. And then this is all Alcantara that is really dirty. I think this is like a $2,000 steering wheel, so I'm hoping I can restore this back to like new. I think we'll be able to, so we're gonna work on that. So let's knock out the leather cleaning here really quickly, and then let's get into Alcantara. So I'm gonna use this strong cleaner, same stuff I use in the rest of the car. Put a little on here, because this is leather on here, so I just want to clean it up. Put a little bit of leather protection cream, because this is an older than 3-year-old leather. And we're going to clean it up. Not super dirty, pretty simple. Really easy to do. I'm going to put this leather protector on it right away. You don't have to put it right away, but put it on here now, just so this can sit for a little while I work on the steering wheel. Wipe this off. Good to go. Okay, let's set the airbag aside now that it has the leather protection on it. I've got my Dupre Tosca. Let me show you that thing. Dupre Tosca steamer. And you could use a spray bottle and water here. I find that the combination of the heat as well as having a little bit of a lot of control. I don't want to soak this down. If you get Alcantara really, really wet, it just doesn't do well. It tends to mat up even more. So I just want to get it somewhat wet. I'm going to go to 2, setting 2 on my Tosca. Get this stuff out of the way. Got a bunch of waffle weave towels. So I got the whole thing somewhat damp, and then I'm going to take Sonax Alcantara cleaner on. I'm going to have I got my brush, and I've got a sponge. Got a little sponge here, so we're going to apply this with a sponge first. Oops. So I said this when I did the rest of the interior. When you're doing any kind of Alcantara, or any kind of fabric for that matter, I'm getting the fabric cleaner onto or into the fabric. Which Alcantara is just a fabric. It's like a micro suede or a microfiber material. And then the work happens in the removal. So the reason why I like this, because we're not able to just dunk this in a bucket of water. We're working slightly wet. So on the high side of damp, on the low side of wet. Because we're working in those conditions, I'm never going to get all of this cleaner off. And so the reason why I like this Sonax a lot is because we're not going to get it all out of this steering wheel, out of the fabric, and it just does really well at that task. The fact that I'm not going to get it all out, because I'm not going to take this and stick it in a bucket of water. I'm just going to kind of wipe as much as I can while working damp with the steamer. Okay, so now we got this in there. I've got my brush. I'm just going to gently agitate. My brush is also damp. Now, I already have sort of balled up fibers on the steering wheel. I should have gotten you a better shot of it. But this is going to dislodge even more of them. See how matted this is right here? We're going to have to work at that. So in order to avoid this matting down, you just want to clean your microfiber more often. I have tons of video on just traditional, just regular cleaning of microfiber or Alcantara. So you can go check out those videos. See all that dirt coming out? I'm gonna have to go over that several times. Same thing here. Okay, let's set a couple towels down here just to grab. We're gonna have to do this a few times. I want to do an initial clean out. See what I can get out of this thing to start. Being gentle. Okay, let's keep working through this. This is one of those things where it's going to start to look worse before it gets better. The first thing we need to do is get the grease and funk out of the steering wheel, and then we'll have all the extra matting from all the dislodged fibers that we're going to have to go in and work on. Looks a little better. All right, let's put some more cleaner. See, our yellow looks a lot more yellow. Not perfect, but a whole lot better. So I want to put this on the brush. I'm going to find out. I find there's only one way to find out how well this does, and it's just to freaking do it. And once we release all of that dirt here, then it gets real fuzzy in this 9 3 section. I'm telling you, you're gonna not like that. That's why you want to make sure it doesn't ever get that dirty. It's kind of like making sure your paint doesn't ever get that scratched up. Okay, let's try to release this. Ah, dang, it's hot. It's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna see if we can get this thing restored. So, we got it pretty well cleaned out, I think. So that was pretty good. It was not too bad. The Corvette one I had, it's like someone put lotion on their hands every day and drove the thing. So once you release all that oil, and look what happens to it. It looks ruined. Because it kind of is. We got all the matting out of it. No, not yet. Like I said, it's gonna get way worse before it gets better. And what you're trying to accomplish here, even though it's looking ugly, you're trying to get the matting out of it, even though you're getting fuzzies. And then we gotta sand the fuzzies off. And so, as you might imagine, you can't do this 100 times. You can only do it a few times before you run out of stuff to remove. Alcantara to remove. Looks pretty good. It's just generally, this is kind of like sanding your headlights. It's like, it's never the same again. So we'll decide if this is going to be acceptable. After it dries and we sand it. So now I'm just going to let it dry. think we're good down here. You're looking to see, is it kind of fuzzy? All right, so I'm gonna let this sit with the rest of the Alcantara, let it dry, and then we'll start taping and sanding. All right, so the steering wheel sat overnight, and here's what we got. It's freaking ruined. I'm gonna have to just buy another one. So, it'll probably be good enough for somebody that wants to swap it for a 997 or something like that. I don't know that it's gonna be good enough for my taste, but we're gonna try to get it set up here. So you wanna tape off the surrounding areas because we're gonna be sanding. And so we don't wanna sand our plastics and cause, we'll scuff it up and you won't be able to fix that. So we've got to kind of get in here as tightly as we can. Tape this up. I guess, can I just pull this off? How does this thing come off? It's got to come off. I guess it's just these little tabs here, no? There's no screws. That would certainly make it easier. So I think it might be these guys right here. Sure doesn't seem to be budging. There are no screws. Just these little tabs here. Well, let's just tape it. I have a feeling I'm going to break something. Yeah, I don't think this is going to come out very great. Not really a restore and have it mediocre kind of guy. More of a get a new one. All right, taped. Now it's time to ruin. Ooh, this one's coming out better than the shift knob. So you can see you're going to use the grain. So I go one way, come back the other. One way, come back the other. That yellow looks a whole lot more yellow, don't you think? The key to this is, can you get it to where it doesn't look like a woolly mammoth? You want it to look like a chinchilla, right? So this area's coming out okay. This is the tricky spot down here where all the wear and tear happens. Yeah, that's the part that I don't think I'm going to be able to get right. But see, this looks like clean, fresh Alcantara here. This here, I don't think it's going to come back the way I want it to. So we're certainly improving it, but I don't think it's going to get to what I want it to get to. See, this is where, like when you have normal dirt, like this is where you can really restore it and recover it. You know, I cleaned it, recovered it, this area of the wheel doesn't get used that much, but the part here where when you let it get too far gone, it never really comes back. So I can improve it, but I can't get it like back to OE like it once was. Is way better, but not good enough. This little patcharoo right there. It's pretty darn good. It came out better than the shift knob. This one looks pretty good. Got that little spot there. I don't think that's coming out. It looks pretty good now. A little more in here. I think that's it, bros. Looks pretty darn good. Looks better than that. So let's get this area cleaned up. So I'm gonna take some tape and just tape around this thing just to get it cleaned up. I'll come back to you and we'll put it back in the car. Look at that. That's beautiful. There was like a little smudgy stain there. Now it looks freaking pretty. Dang, I'm good. All right, steering wheel back in. Should only go on one way. Oh, nope, it doesn't. Shoot. Make sure I got it lined up properly. I like the BMWs because the BMWs only go on in one slot. Let me sit down here. Make sure I got this lined up. I mean, I'm pretty sure the steering wheel was straight. So I'm pretty sure that's where it was. But that's a little bit off from the arrow. Well, it's super simple to take off. If I have to, I'll pull it back off. Airbag. Make sure the battery's disconnected, which it is. So, airbag goes like this. Grounded. You're supposed to get a new bolt. Someone made sure to tell me. I'm not doing that. You'll know if your steering wheel's coming loose. Precise torque spec there. A couple of ugga-duggas and we're in. Much better. I think that's I think that's good, bros. Look at how clean that looks. That was all dirty. I just don't love these areas here, but I like it. Let's put the shift boot on. Let's see, and I'm gonna have to tear all this stuff apart again because I'm gonna be redoing half the stuff in here. Something like that. How does this thing go? It goes like that, right?
Yeah.
So why does it have like a little... kinkaroo to it? I don't like that. Oh, it has to go all the way down. I'm an idiot. It goes like that. There we go. That clips on. This guy goes down like that. And then you twist this in place. Just like that. Freaking backwards. Were you going to tell me that or what? Dang it. How the heck did I do that? There we go. That goes there. Surprised it goes on backwards. Uh-oh. It doesn't. That's why I just broke internally. It's pretty good. This is a good enough garage car, or is this a obsessed garage car? I think it's okay. Are these home link buttons for the garage? It must be. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So I can get rid of my garage door opener. Get this good to go, this good to go. All right, let's do a vacuuming. All right, so that's a temporary wrap on the steering wheel. We'll see if I can stomach these little bit of edge here. It's pretty darn good. I really like this steering wheel, and to spend another 2 G's, I don't know that it, I've had stock wheels look worse than this right out of the box. That one I ordered for my S2000 that was like $2,500 had a real janky Alcantara. This is not terrible. I think that if I can find this, if you guys can help me figure this thing out, maybe I'd just get a new shift knob, because I don't love how I can feel. I know the fuzz is there and I know I can feel it, but the steering wheel looks pretty good. What do you think? This is all nice and clean. Good to go. More interior videos coming. Make sure to check out the whole interior series that we put together, the multiple videos, and then more interior coming as the parts show up, the new buttons, the new tray, the new door sills. We're going to see how this door holds up, but I think we're good there. But I think the cage change will make a big change on how this thing looks in the interior. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one.